Okay, I'm back again for more Rummage sale movies that I've found. I wasn't too pleased with the selection last week, and to be honest, I had even less hope for these movies. So I figured just get it out of the way and get over with. So the movies for this week are Walkout, Citizen Verdict, Stonebrook, The Event, not the NBC TV show, and Undiscovered. I think he's got some weird cases too. There's like a bug in this one. Goodness. Okay, so, just like last time, I'm going to go watch these in random order and then come back to you and let you know what I think of them. Okay, so I'm back. I just watched all 5 of those movies, and to be completely honest, I think I'm starting to miss Clive Owen. So I don't know, I feel like I was maybe a little lucky with those first batch of movies now that I think about it. But I guess I'll get into it and start talking about these. As usual, I picked these to watch in random order. So unfortunately, I started with Undiscovered. This was really not a good movie. And I mean, it just wasn't good. There's not much more to say about this, honestly. It's strange because Carrie Fisher is in this, and she plays a person named Carrie. That's all we really know about her. Not completely sure if she's supposed to be playing herself, or if she just happens to be playing a person named Carrie. There's no difference between the two, but I guess it's just a minor thing. It's not like she gets mentioned as being in Star Wars or anything. She's just a person named Carrie either way. So that's strange. Peter Weller is in it. He kind of looks like Paul Bettany in this. That's what I thought it was at first, but it's not. My favorite part of the movie was, I guess, the villain or whatever, Fisher Stevens, who was in Lost, played George Minkowski. Yeah, this movie was not very good. Not at all. I mean, even if this was good, this isn't my type of movie. It's, a romantic comedy, which it wasn't even a little bit funny, and I don't see any moments where it was trying to be funny, so I don't know about the comedy side of romantic comedy. But, yeah, no. And apparently this movie is one of the biggest second weekend drops of movies. It dropped like 86% in the box office in its second weekend, which I guess says something. And of course it bombed, or it bombed relatively speaking. It had a budget of $9 million. It only made back It only made back $1 million. I guess it's a bomb. It's not as serious a bomb as other movies. If you're gonna lose money on a movie, I'd rather lose $8 million than lose, hundreds of millions of dollars. So, I guess in that way, Undiscovered beats John Carter and Solo: A Star Wars Story. So, good job on Undiscovered. Next, I watched The Event, which I guess was slightly better in the fact that it wasn't as bad as Undiscovered, but this movie took too long for me to figure out what it was about. It stars a bunch of people I've never heard of, and Parker Posey, who I think I have heard of, but that's about it. I don't know, like some guy died, and they're investigating his death, but he was sick, so they think he killed himself. I don't know, who cares? It just seems like it took too long to figure out what this movie was about. It was just like scenes loosely connected to each other. I don't know. I really didn't care. So I guess that's a fault of the movie that I didn't care enough to try and figure out what was going on. Next, I watched Citizen Verdict. This had Roy Schneider in it, or Scheider, whatever, the guy from Lost, the guy from Jaws. It also had Jerry Springer in it, and this movie was the moment I realized I don't know what Jerry Springer looks like, so maybe, apparently I saw him in this movie, but I don't know what he looks like, so I don't know who he was or who he played. I don't really care. Interestingly enough, what happens in this movie is like the killer's manifesto in Untraceable. He talks about like how eventually they're going to televise executions, and that's what this is about. They televise a trial and an execution. And yeah, this was okay. It was weirdly made. It was kind of made like it was real, but then wasn't real at the same time. I feel like the movie was trying to be deeper than it really was. This felt like something Uwe Boll could have directed, honestly. It felt very similar to like Rampage, the kind of weird shooting style that he had, almost simple, like, handheld cameras. But it was kind of interesting, I suppose. Better than nothing. Next, I watched Stonebrook, which is honestly the oldest movie I've seen so far, at 1998. It starred Seth Green and a bunch of nobodies. This is also the most obscure movie I think I've ever watched on, of the 10 movies I've seen so far in this show thing. I couldn't find information about this anywhere. It didn't have a Wikipedia page, it didn't have a Rotten Tomatoes page, it had like a IGN score, and that was it. Yeah, this was probably the best movie that I saw of the lot, but still not great. What I will say is that I was watching this, and I thought to myself, okay, I'm interested in seeing where this is going, but the problem is, I said that about like halfway through the movie. So I was watching so I watched like half of the movie, and it was as setup. So I don't know. I think the movie had a bunch of twists and turns. Some were more predictable than others. I think I'll say what the movie is. The movie isn't as smart as the people making it thought it was. The people making this thought they were being real clever and unique with this movie, but they weren't. So. And then the last movie was Walkout. It starred Michael Pena and the girl from Spy Kids. This is about it's like the 60s, and a bunch of students are walking out of schools because they don't like what's going on in their schools, I suppose. This was cool, I guess. I don't know. HBO. It seemed kind of like a dip in quality for HBO a little bit. But, I don't really go for, historical movies about real events. But, I don't know. It was interesting. A piece of history I didn't know about. That could be important to some people. But, yeah. Nothing special. I don't know. So I would say that overall I was a little disappointed by the quality of the movies that I got this time around. I hope this isn't a downward spiral of movies that I'm getting myself into. I hope the next batch is a little better, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. And until then, I will see you guys next time.